everyone, Kathy here. Hi everyone, Kathy here. Sorry about that. We've been having some connection issues. Just want to do my sound check. I'm going to do my sound check here and see if we are capturing sound. So thumbs up or thumbs down if we're capturing sound. No video, huh? It will be just a second before the video's up and we will check it again. The video is going, yes. Okay, so I'm going to continue and go on because I can't understand what my assistant is saying. Maybe he can come over and tell me and then it would help. So, welcome. This is Kathy Wheeler with Write, Publish, and Sell, the 90-day book, and I am excited to be with you here today for part 2 of our How to Create Your Vision cover. So, first of all, I would like to start today with a gratitude. Oh, my assistant is telling me that his version is loading, so sorry for the disruptions. I'm going to go on assuming that you can hear me. So we are going to start with day 2 of creating our vision cover. Yesterday we went over part 1 and we talked about the importance of kind of knowing where you're going, giving a big idea and getting excitement for these big projects, because big projects, let's face it, they do take determination and persistence, and just having a vision of where you're going can help. And that's one of the reasons that I am out here with you outside on this 48-degree day. It is, yes, 48 degrees here in Michigan, and my dog Sophie is here to help us. But nature can help with creativity. So we are engaging in nature, and I just realized I didn't share this on my group, so let me do that, and then we'll get back to it. So I just need to get this over to the group page. So I'm going to share it in my group how to write and publish a book, which is a great group if you would like to join it if you're not in it yet. Okay, so I'm sharing that, and one thing that's great to do when we start on something like this, a project like this, or a video even, and this is something that one of my coaches and friends, she's a speaker coach, Celeste Stevens, taught me, is to start something with gratitude. So just think of something that you're grateful for today. And today I would like to say that I am grateful for this beauty here in Michigan, even though it's a bit chilly. It still is beautiful out. So I'm grateful for that. So again, yesterday we talked about kind of having a vision of where you want to go, how that can help you along. And today we're going to narrow that down a bit and talk within your book. We did talk about supplies yesterday. If you don't have your supplies yet, that's okay. You can go out and get them after this video and get part 1 and 2 done, because you will have a bit of homework today. So our supplies yesterday were a piece of poster board. So this one I cut down to 9 by 12, and that's based on standard book dimension size. If you don't have a poster board around and you don't want to buy any, you can use something like an old Christmas card, a leftover card that you never used, something like that, and you can just use that as your base that we'll be adding stuff to. So no problem there. You will also need some sort of adhesive, such as glue stick or rubber cement. Both of those are great, and a lot of people have those on hand. You will need scissors, as well as a supply of magazines that has pictures that resonate with you and the message you want to share with the world, as well as some words. And you'll actually be surprised what magazines you can find. I did that today, and when we get to that point, I'll share some examples. I went out actually this morning instead of last night to get them, and I was at Rite Aid. Their selection isn't very big at our local Rite Aid, maybe 15 magazines, but it was very easy to pick some out that just had words and phrases that resonated with me and what I want my students to feel. So this, we're going to talk about what we will be putting in this. So I just want to give a little bit of that before we go on into the specific how-tos. So when you write a book, it's important to have a high-level hook. So a high-level hook is why people should read the book. So one or two sentences or thoughts about what the book's about. So if you think about it, think of any movie. Movies all have a hook. So your book's hook, so my book is How to Write and Publish a Book in 90 Days. That's the one I'm going to be doing today. It's a book that I'm 3/4 of the way done with, and I think this vision cover will give me the little push I need to finish. So my hook really is the subtitle, How to Write and Publish a Book in 90 Days. But it's not just the hook that I want to be thinking about today. As we go into the interior, I want to be thinking about how people feel, what this will make them feel, and not necessarily all of the technical step-by-step directions. And then as we go on to the back of the book, we are going to work on words and images that describe you and who you are growing into, who you want to be, who you are working on growing into being. So let's work on that big idea some. Now, that might be a little daunting. So if it is daunting to you, just think of the message that you want to share. What's kind of your statement or your thing that you like to share with people? So mine, I have several. So I'm not just sticking to books. I just happen to know what I want to write about for my business, which is this. So for my business, I want to help people understand that it is very possible to write a book with the simple steps, instructions. But another big area of my life that I like to work on aside from my business is social justice issues. So I do have a social justice themed book. And so I don't necessarily have my big idea down for that, although I do. But I could come up with big ideas that represent just social justice. So I could just do something on social justice. So think of that with your business and your book. So one of my recent students did a book on body image, the body image blueprint, and it was all about learning to love yourself. So you could do something like that. See how I'm just kind of giving the big, broad level idea of the book without going into the details. So those are the types of words and pictures you're going to want for your cover. So your cover, if you can read that, is the big idea. I'll summarize these instructions for you below too to help you out. So you're going to look for pictures, images, words. Oh, and Patty gave a great idea last night. Patty, who I'm actually doing a webinar with next week on protecting your creative baby and overcoming some of your fears with book writing, both how to set your boundaries. She is an excellent boundaries expert. She has great videos out there, 2-minute videos on setting boundaries that are just fabulous. So her and I are doing that webinar next week, Thursday at 4 Eastern. I would love to have you join us. I'll put another link to that in the comments of this as well. So I got myself sidetracked there. So we get her idea, that is one I've suggested in the past and forgot to mention in this, so I'm so glad she put it out there, is that you can also print images and words off of the internet. So if you can't find something that resonates with you, go on the internet and find something and print it. Also, I want to let you know that within Canva, there is actually a Kindle cover, book size cover. So if you prefer doing all this stuff digitally, you could do it digitally within Canva. And so maybe that's something I will show you later today as we're talking and working. That will be a separate video if we do that, because I need to set up screen sharing. I don't want that set up. So on the inside, you're going to want keywords or points that you want to make in your book. So for example, Jenny Edenberg's book that I just talked about was all about self-love. So she might want to show pictures of maybe people looking in the mirror, relationships, yoga, anything that resonates with what she wrote. It has to do with the relationship with food, any of those kind of little points that she covered. Let's see, let me think of another great book that we just had released. One by Samantha Salmon, which also made bestseller, was all about how you can afford to eat healthy. So in hers, she might put some financial statements, some pictures of some foods and people enjoying healthy foods, the feeling that they get when they're enjoying healthy foods, things like that. On the back, really there's no rights or wrong. I should tell you that. Whatever makes you feel good sparks your ideas about your book. So on the back, you're going to want words and images that describe you and who you are growing in to be. So kind of the best vision that you have of yourself. Who do you want to be as an author? So this is not just as an author, but as a person. What do you want to do in your business? What do you want to do in the world? So this is kind of like the About the Author page that we're doing here. So this is very good. Now let me go and get into the magazines so you have an idea of what I was talking about, how easy this can be. So these are some of the examples I showed up yesterday from my husband's stash that I didn't think were going to be good for me, but actually just looking at the covers I could pick up things. So this one says Epic Journeys, 19 Trips to Change Your Life. Well, when I describe the book writing process, I describe it all about being a journey because it really is. But not only that, everyone, I shouldn't say everyone because that's too broad of a term, but almost everyone who works with me says that it's really life-changing, life-transforming to write a book. This also says get going now. So you'll be surprised where you can find words that resonate, words and images that resonate with what you are doing for your book. Just another example. This is an essential oils catalog. Here's a little tiny one. It says 4 ways to keep it simple and positive for the holidays. Well, simple and positive were the 2 words that drew me to that. Headlines are so great. I want my book writing process to be simple and positive, so that's something I'm going to put in there. Ooh, cherished. That's another great word. So you just can flip through. You never know what images or words you will find in your magazines. Again, Oprah, she always has great things. Her word joy resonated with me. So that was one. And I just know I always find things in there, so I didn't really read her headlines that long. Real Simple got me too. Get work done. So right there, I want my writers to get their work done. So that is the one that drew me to that. I have not flipped through these wonderful magazines yet. I'm sure I'll find a ton in there. And this is Redbook. This one, Simple Strategies, I think is what drew me to this one at first. But you'll just read through the headlines and you'll be surprised what great things that you can find that will actually apply to other things. So we are going to today go through and cut out and categorize these. I'm almost done with my video, and so you're going to put them in 3 piles as you do them. You're going to do your big idea, you're going to do your keywords or points, and you're going to do your words or images that describe you. So cut them out, make 3 piles. This might take some time. Tomorrow we're going to be doing the gluing process and talking a little bit more about refining it and how to use that to motivate you. So let's go ahead and get started on this now. If you have any questions or great suggestions like Patty did, please post them below. And again, I will post the information for our Protecting Your Creative Baby webinar that's coming up. So thank you very much for joining me. Go get to work on your cover. Thank you.